FatDag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, FatDag.
Cheers. I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode number 279 of Wise Advice. Do you remember when we started this thing back at episode 1? Man, it seems like that was forever ago. And we've grown as a community quite a bit since then. So I want to just kind of take a moment here and say we're coming up on episode 300, which is absolutely incredible. 300 days of inspiration in your app. All you got to do is pull up a day and listen to it. So every single day of the week for 279 days, you can find some little bit of motivation. And this is all you guys, man. This is all you writing in and sharing your stories and sending an email. If you'd notice, other than maybe one or two episodes, the entire episodes have been 100% user content generated, meaning you send an email in, we discuss it, I discuss it, and push it back out. One of the things we're doing right now is I built a completely, this is top secret, by the way, super duper top secret, like secret squirrel stuff. A couple of you know about it. But I built you may have heard of an app called Slack. Slack is a business kind of productivity / tool. But I built a community in Slack when I very first started the podcast. That was the very first community I built, was a Slack community. And it was closed off for so long, and it was just a handful of people who were helping me with the podcast and helping me with Operation FatDag and that type of stuff. So it's originally it's probably maybe 20 of us or so in there. And we started opening that community up to listeners of the podcast. So here's the deal. If your email is featured in a show, and the producers at that point, Heather and Lisa, once it's aired, will invite you into this Slack community. So if you're interested in doing that, all it takes is you writing us an email that's worthy of being shared on the air, not just a hi, how are you, let me in, but shoot us an email and with detail what's going on. What are you proud of? What are you working on? What's the best thing that's ever happened to you? Share whatever you want that you think other people will be motivated by. We'll put it on the air and we'll shoot you a private link into the Slack community, which is just an amazing group of people who are just celebrating and taking care of their lives. So that's the cool news. So on air at fatdag.com, that's where you send that email. I also did I'm testing another live stream platform called Crowdcast. So I'll put the link in the show notes, but it's crowdcast.io /FatDag. And so Crowdcast now gives me the ability to have a private audience. So now you can watch the show there and your Facebook friends don't have to watch it. You can watch it there directly. You can watch the replays in there, and you certainly can you have the ability to ask questions and vote questions up so that I can answer them a little differently. So check that out if you haven't. This episode will be there if you want to just kind of watch that. It doesn't require a Facebook account, doesn't require you to pay anything. It's just an opportunity for you to watch the recording of the show if you're so inclined to want to watch the recording other than just listening to it. But there is another episode in there that we do restrict to the Patreon community, and it's the Wiser Me workshop. It's about a 17-page workbook, and I walk you through how to develop your why and then how to set goals for the month of October. Because if you didn't know, it's October, and it's time to get this thing started and rocking and clean slate. I looked at my calendar this morning in my WW app, and when I opened it up, I saw a blank calendar full of blue dots just waiting to happen. And so I equated it to like that first run when after a beautiful snowfall, you're at the top of the mountain and there's not a single track in front of you. the opportunities at that point are endless. You can go whatever direction you want to go, and it's a clean slate, so to speak, just like Therese says over in Crowdcast. So, but very, very, very nice. So let's go ahead and open this show. I got 3 awesome emails for you tonight. Out of Southborough, Massachusetts, Candy writes in. She says, "Hey, Mike. I had the honor of being part of episode 178 of Wise Advice. I'm writing again because I'm realizing that I'm in a complacency mode and I want to get out of it. I'm down 118.8 pounds with a goal of 138. I've been on a bit of a roller coaster in terms of weight loss since Christmas time. I've been fluctuating over the same 5 or 10 pounds in that time. I'm digging deep today to figure out why I have stopped consistently losing weight. The short answer seems to be that food still has a mental hold on me. I lost the first 100 or 110 relatively easily. I didn't have any extended times where I gained or stayed the same. Now 111 to 120 pounds have been this up and down process. Now, I know what you're going to say, Mike. 118 pounds is amazing, and I know that you're right. The problem is that I don't feel like I'm done losing weight, but I can't seem to get my mind back to the focus I had before so I can get this done. I'm hoping that some words of wisdom from the best wingman out there will help me get that focus back. Thank you so much for the sacrifices you have made to do this podcast. Your ability to take our words and read them back to us gives us your perspective on them, and it's so helpful to so many of us. I wish you good focus, Candy." Candy, you're absolutely right. You've been listening long enough to know that was the first thing I was going to come out with is you lost 118.8 pounds. 100. Say it out loud. 118.8 pounds. Had you started this journey and I said, I can guarantee you 118.8 pound weight loss, or you can go at it on your own and see how well you'll do. You would have, with everything you had, committed to a guarantee of 118.8. You would have, right? So congratulate yourself on that. Recognize that is a phenomenal accomplishment. There is no way happily, you can lose 118.8 pounds. So I understand where you're at, though, and I'm thrilled that you're 118.8 pounds. The other piece I want to point out that you're overlooking is you say I've been fluctuating the same 5 or 10 pounds since Christmas. Wow, that's a great accomplishment as well. For you, you're in a weight loss mode. I get it. But to have maintained that 118.8 pound weight loss since Christmas is phenomenal work. What that tells me is that you're dialed in to the point where this is your lifestyle. You've figured it out. So you can call it complacency a little bit, that you're not losing weight. I'm going to call it success in every way, shape, and form. You're down 118 pounds. You've maintained that since Christmas. You're now writing into the podcast to say, hey, I'm still engaged. I'm still here. Hello, check me out. I need some help. The help you need is truly just a wingman to say, you're doing fantastic. But what I want you to do is I want you to stop focusing on your weight loss journey. I'm not saying stop losing weight, but I want you to stop focusing on the number. I want you to stop focusing on that, the 119, right? You're at 118.8. And what I want you to do is really stop losing weight. And when I say that, what I want to caveat it with is start being healthy. Not that you're not, but start thinking about, okay, if I was an athlete, what would I be doing today? If I was a nutritionist or a dietitian, what would I be doing today? And now I know some athletes who don't get out and exercise often enough, and I know some nutritionists who don't exactly eat, as well as they could, because there's some life thing going on. But what I want you to do is I want you now to take this journey to the next level. And by you focusing in on the actions that you're doing, the lifestyle that you're living, the ability to choose good choices, the ability to make healthy, moving decisions, that's where your celebration is. And so put the stress aside of I can't get the scale to move, and celebrate the fact that you're getting you to move. And let that stress subside. And I bet you, as you start realizing that, hey, I actually got this. I'm actually doing a fantastic job at living happy and healthy. That's what the celebration's all about. And, if you don't lose another ounce between now and this Christmas, well, you're still a rock star, and you're still crushing it, and you're still 118.8 pounds down. Man, I'm so proud of you. That 118 is a number that, again, the thing I just want to reemphasize. I said it just a second ago. I want to reemphasize it. If when you started this journey, if I could guarantee you, here you have option A or option B. Option A, guaranteed 118.8 pound weight loss. That's option A. Option B is do your best and let's see where you go. You would have chosen A every single time. Celebrate it. Your success is incredible. Thank you for sharing it, and keep up the amazing work. Ditch the number on the scale in a sense where I just want you to focus on the habits that are keeping you where you're at. Do more of those healthy things and keep getting it done. Thanks again, Candy, for writing in. Out of California, Watsonville, Jane writes in, says, "Hi, Mike. Just a quick note to say that I listened to episodes 227, 228. Thank you to the powerful letters that express their why. For me, the why I was trying to get back to was for my family and to be active with my grandkids who are now 9 and 11. They were probably 4 and 6 the first time. I had forgotten my other why, and then it came back to me when listening to your response to the emails. I want to be an example and an inspiration. I remember thinking way back when, why can't my family and my friends jump on the WW train? All they talk about is how old they are, how their bad backs and their bad knees. And I kept thinking that I need someone to follow. Well, then it hit me. Oh, okay. Well, okay, God, I get it. I'm supposed to be the example. That was a turning point for me and became my why. Along with being healthy for my grandkids and my family, I lost 40-ish pounds. Recently, I had forgotten that important piece, so thank you for the reminder. I now feel focused, excited, and in a growth mindset. Yes, at 65, I can get the last 10 pounds off and get into a simply daily step or a swim activity, being an inspiration to those who think they can't, showing them, yes, they can. On a sidebar, I love the book, Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. It's a great read. Enjoy your day, Jane. Jane, bingo. Boy, if you did not just hammer this thing home with this email, I don't know. Man, I just want to just hang up the microphone right now and say, Jane, it's your show. Come take this. And so here's what I want to celebrate, and I hope you listening figured this out. It's the term I've said more than once, be the prize. Right? How do you get your spouse to join WW? How do you get your neighbor to join? How do you get your son to join, your daughter to join? How do you get someone to realize that their health is the most important piece in their life? I found a quote on the internet the other day, and it hit me right between the eyes, and I now need to go Google it and figure out who said it because it was so true. It says, "Your life begins the second you realize you only have one." And so when you think of that, we want our friends and neighbors, we want everyone to join us because we realize that we only have one life to live and that we have figured out a way to take care of ourselves. And we've done that through WW. We started to get healthier and we started losing 40 pounds or 118.8 pounds, whatever that number is. We have completely changed our life and we've adopted a healthy, happy lifestyle. We want nothing more than to share that. And so when I say be the prize or I've set the example, that's what it takes other people to join. You cannot walk up to someone and say, hey, I'm a WW member and I think you should join with me. Not going to work as well. Right? It could, but generally what's going to have to happen is someone has to ask you for help, and then you can provide WW as a solution or whatever journey you're on. However, if you just simply mirror the healthy lifestyle, you start eating better, you start moving more, you start taking care of yourself, then what happens is you start looking better, you start feeling better, and people notice. You walk into the room with a little bit of a different spring in your step. You walk into the room and you wave your hand hello to everybody versus hiding in the corner. You walk into the room and you're just excited to shake everybody's hand because you just feel like $1 million. That energy is contagious. And the people closest to you, they notice the shift in you. They notice, wow, look, Jane's really on fire today. What's the pep in her step? Oh, she just lost 40 pounds. She feels fantastic. And they start talking. And everyone starts saying, yeah, doesn't she look great? Oh, she looks amazing. Look at her. Man, I wish I had the energy she had. I wish I looked as good as she did. I wish. And that's what happens is every single one of them start making wishes based off of your success. Whether you realize that or not, if you've had success on this program, I promise you somebody has noticed and somebody has wished either secretly or verbally to you. They have wished for the same or similar success. That sometimes causes them to at least go Google WW. It causes them sometimes to start their own journey using a different program or something along the lines. But what happens is you are now the prize. You're what everyone's after. You're what everyone wants to be and feel like because you are showing how doable it is, how fun it is, how awesome it feels, how awesome it looks, and people get jealous. And that's a good thing in this conversation, right? We talk about a lot is, and social media is, generally speaking, it's you get to watch everybody else's highlight reel, right? And so that social media anxiety kicks in because your neighbor's always going on vacation. Your neighbor's always doing something fun. You're like, well, poor me, I'm working all day. Well, all they're posting is all the good stuff. And so your weight loss journey is kind of the same thing. You show them all the good stuff, and then they go, I want to be the prize. I want to be as successful as Jane. I want to get it done. So congratulations. At 65, you're setting the stage. You're setting the example. God has definitely put in your hands this journey to lead your friends and family on to better health and happiness. That's your role. Always take care of you first because that is the number one priority. But know that people are watching and they want that same level of success that you currently have. So, Jane, thank you for writing in. Thanks for your amazing email. And congratulations, 40 pounds, 65 years old. Don't tell me it can't be done. Absolutely phenomenal. Keep up the amazing work. The last email from this show comes in from Lee out of Santa Rosa, California. Lee says, Dear FatDag, Dear Wingman, and dear WW members of all sorts, as well as anyone else listening. Let me see. I believe this is the 5th letter I've sent in via email, plus one other that I had that actually hand wrote. Today is June 7th is when he wrote this. It's my 3,516th day on program, but who's counting? My maintenance is going swimmingly, partially because I am swimmingly. In 2 weeks, in fact, from June 21st to 23rd, I will be in Sacramento at UC Davis participating in the Special Olympic State Games, where I will be swimming the 25-meter breaststroke, the 25-meter butterfly, and the 100 individual medley, which for you non-swimmers aficionados is butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and then freestyle. In my event, the 100 is one lap of each. Prior to the Northern California meet, which had a number of counties teams, I had not done a 25 in competition since I was 8 years old back in 1982. That was the old me, 3 years before my traumatic brain injury, after which my life has been significantly different than I assume it would have been. Bear with me as this introductory fluff is in fact coming to a point. Just as I have learned to deal with having what I call 3 stages in my life, pre-TBI, 74 to 85, post-TBI, 85 to 2009, and being in WW 2009 to present, I also grieved the person that I was. It is human nature to compare, and I do a lot of it. I'm thinking easily, daily, well, back in such and day, I was getting these grades, I was swimming this fast, etc. The old times are memories, and they're not so bad to remember something like I swam in Junior Olympics in Barstow, California in 1985. It was just weeks before my first accident. The part that is difficult is something along the lines of, I would have gotten my license this year in 1990, and I'd been a driving citizen. Instead, I have no left peripheral vision in my eye, and I have not driven once since the day I got my license, which was in 2006 at age 32. Twice the age that most people get theirs. I grieve this part of my life regularly, and trite as it may seem, I often find myself saying out loud or just thinking, it's not fair. My story is explained in more detail, episodes 131, 160, 209, and 262. It's more detail than I'll go into here, but you'll know where to find them. Easily, the best positive change and decision that I've made in my life is the day I walked into my first WW studio. It had a different name back then, but I'll simplify things by using current day terminology. My 5'11" body was 48 inches around. I'd weighed 309 pounds at my day one check-in. I was living the stereotypical life of a single man, fast food, pizza delivery, and the likes. Then the first workshop changed my outlook on food, and I never looked back. I am exuberantly happy that I've made the positive changes in my own life regarding the 3 pillars of food, activity, and mindset. Likewise, I've been a great influence on a number of people. WW members, friends, family. My mom joined WW, hit goal, and is a lifetime member at goal, as am I. All these good things, and I am happy enough, still wanting some things to change in my life. Like everybody, I could be happier, but enough is just that. It's good enough for now. Some days, I wonder if I grieve the old me, the Lee who ate pizza every night, and lots of foods that most W members would not touch with a 10-foot fork. I suppose I like the freedom, eating what I wanted, enjoying stuff in my face, but not the outcome. The old me could not walk on a sidewalk, could not easily climb the stairs, and so many physical attributes aside from just the size of my body itself, they were detrimental. I definitely do not grieve that because it was a domino effect of one undesirable event after another, and my downfall was inevitable. I'm beyond lucky that I found myself where I did, that WW was the opportunity facing me at the time. I do not grieve the fact that I made that decision. It has brought me to a place that I am now, a healthy man who is still a non-driver, but gets where I need to by means other than driving myself. The WW family I have is an absolute wonderful part of my life, and I cherish it. Rather, I believe if I was at a weight skyrocketed beyond the 309 previous that I was, I would be wondering, what could I have done if I had joined WW all those years ago? I could not imagine where I would be now if I never took that first step to better my health. I would never have been able to meet all of you wonderful wingmen, and we'd not have one another to offer support and guidance on our journeys. I thank you all wholeheartedly for being a vital part of my life. My starting weight, 309 pounds, October 20th, 2009. Goal weight, 200 pounds on April 20th, 2016. Currently 185.8 on June 2nd, 2019. I have removed 123.2 pounds from my body. You all will hit goal. Have no doubt about it. It will happen. The when is irrelevant. Just know it will happen at the exact date that it is meant to occur. Keep on tracking, Lee. Lee, dude, you're an incredible inspiration. One of my favorite parts of this journey, no kidding, was meeting you in person in San Francisco. I had, before then, we had just chatted online. We'd seen each other in the Facebook community. And so I didn't get to know the true Lee until I met you in person. And it's the highlight. I'm telling you, it's the highlight of my journey. And no offense to the rest of you out there, but certainly Lee is an amazing person. His positive attitude about life is what carries him to goal. And so, Lee, one of the things I'm most thankful for is who you are today. Every single thing about you, the TBI and all, non-driving and all, a guy who doesn't like to walk on the sidewalk because, we're afraid the car may come get us. I get it. Every single thing about you is what attracts me to you today. And so I'm afraid that had none of this happened to you, we never would have met. Our paths may never have crossed. And so had that happened, maybe then our journeys are both different, and so your inspiration, your willingness to put yourself out there as well, and your ability to stay dialed in and blue dots every single day and tracking every day and just continue to inspire and motivate an entire community is like gold. It's pure pure gold, and it must flow out of your veins from your heart, because I can see that in you. So I'm thankful, and not in a weird way, but I'm thankful for everything that has happened to you, because that's what put you in my life, and that's what put everyone. That's what put you in this entire community's life. So I don't grieve the old you at all. I don't look back and say, what if here, what if there? The only thing I would say is I would look back maybe and go, oh my goodness, if none of that happened, I never would have met Lee. So congratulations on your amazing journey, dude. You know how I feel about you. Hopefully I just summed it up pretty well, but I want to take one more opportunity to say what you do to this community, what you bring to this community, is just an incredible amount of inspiration. You have passion. You're always there, and you come up with some ideas that many of us may not have thought of. And so, thank you for doing that. And I certainly love the ability to have a calculator every time I need it, to just have you rattle off some math in your head that takes me. I have to count my fingers and take my shoes off to do it. But bottom line is, you're an incredible example. Do not look back in this sense. Do not wonder what would be happening if you were driving. Do not wonder, because the place you're supposed to be in life right now, where God has put you to say you are going to be an inspiration, you are going to be the prize, is exactly everything happened to transpire exactly the way it did for this entire community to rally around you the way that we have, because you have led the charge in that respect. So, Lee, thanks for your email. Folks, if you have not heard his previous emails, certainly go check out those episodes. And I want to dig them up here, which ones they were. But I want you to dig them up again to say, 131, 160, 209, and 262. If you have not heard his journey, let me just give you an inspiration. The first time Lee found this podcast, he started on episode 1, and he binged listened all the way. I forget how far he was, but every single day, I think he did it in like 2 weeks, completely caught up. And then he just hasn't missed an episode since. So, it's an amazing journey to listen to and watch. And so you can find him in the Wingman community, and certainly you can find him in the app, and he's certainly in Connect as well. So check him out. Links are in the show notes for that. So, it's an amazing accomplishment. It's an amazing celebration. Lee, thank you for celebrating your journey with us. Folks, I want you to send in your celebrations as well. Let's share them on the air. Let's go to fatdag.com. Click on the Wise Advice podcast to send those celebrations in. I'll work them in as part of the show. You can email in as well, on air at fatdag.com. Like I said in the opening of the show, is we'll invite you, if your email is used on the air, we'll invite you into the private Slack community for just folks who've been on the show. It's a neat little community as well. So that hopefully encourages you to share. Because when you share, I get so many emails of people who say just writing it down was therapeutic. Even if it never gets used, just getting it out of your head is the piece that so many of us just need that clarity on. So continue to do that. Send them in on air at fatdag.com, and let other people know how proud you are. Tell us the amazing things that's going on in your life, and we'll share and celebrate with you as an amazing community does. Folks, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. On behalf of my producers, Heather and Lisa, we wish you good focus. Thank you for listening to the Wise Advice Podcast. Did you know for as little as $1 a month, you can take the next step as a wingman and support the show? Visit fatdag.com, click on Become a Patron today.